My music mentor told me something 15 years ago that has stuck with me ever since. You either have to do something that has never been done before, or you do something that has been done before and do it better than anyone else. If you don't do one of those things, it's probably not worth doing. Hey guys, I'm Andy Jeffs. I'm a drummer and a songwriter. And in today's video, I want to share you my 20-year journey of trying to find an original idea and help you if you are on your journey to really help you find your original idea, because I think we can all agree as artists that really is the holy grail of artistry, is getting to a point where you have your unique signature, your thing that immediately when people hear it, see it, experience it, they're like, ah, that's the thing that that dude does the best in the world. So as I said, there are kind of two paths that you can take as an artist. There's the one where you do something that's never been done before, and then there's the other one where you do something that's been done before, but you do it better than anyone else. I think a good example for both of these is you either be John Bonham, who obviously kind of like invented rock drumming almost, he was like the first guy to do something like that was never done before. Or if you're on the other side of things, you'll be like Dave Grohl, who obviously just kind of plays Bonham beats better than anyone else. Both paths are totally fine. It depends on who you are as a player. My drumming mentor always used to say it in a different way. He'd be like, you're either an innovator or you're a traditionalist. Now, as I say, both of those things are totally fine. It really just depends on what you want. Me personally, I always knew from the get-go that I wanted to do something that was never done before. And that was the intention that I set for myself, 15 years ago. And only until the last couple of years have I come to creating something that I truly think is unique and original that hasn't been done before. I'll give you a quick teaser if you haven't been watching my videos up until now of what that is. It's basically a music podcast documentary where I challenge a new artist every single episode to write, record, and perform a new song from scratch in just 3 hours. It's something that has truly never been done before. I've done a lot of research in all kind of corners of the world. There's definitely a lot of 3-hour song challenges or 1-hour song challenges on YouTube. You can find those a dime a dozen on YouTube, and those are great. But there's never been a kind of podcast format where there's the challenge being done in a collaborative setting, and there's new challenges every single time, and then it's kind of formatted in this kind of podcast format that is like a show that is being presented on a regular basis. So taken me a lot of time to get to this point, and I can truly say that it's the first time that I've really felt like I've had something that is me, and it's something that I'm dedicated to growing. So yeah, hopefully in this video I can share with you a little bit of what I did to get to this point and kind of reverse engineer it to help you find your unique signature when it comes to your artistry. So first up, the way to really, when it comes to creating something that's never been done before, it's a simple formula. It's nothing genius or anything like that. You just have to find two ideas that have nothing to do with each other and combine them. That really is all it is at the end of the day. That's all innovation is. It's just finding ideas that haven't been put together and merging them together. I didn't do this, but it was one thing that my drumming mentor did mention to me back in the day that I think is a good exercise to do. If you're really like dedicated to finding something that's never been done before, like really fast, then you could literally just set a habit to like write down 10 ideas every single morning. You wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is you write down 10 ideas, two combinations of things that have nothing to do with each other, and merge them together. And if you did that every single day for, a year, you probably come up with a pretty awesome idea from that. So that's one thing you could do. I didn't do it that way, but that's just one thing that I wanted to share. Hopefully that's valuable for you. The thing that I did do though was 15 years ago, when I decided that the path that I wanted to take was to do something that had never been done before, was that I set the intention to do it. And there's something really powerful about the mind when you set an intention in your mind and say, I am going to do this. This is where I'm going to put my focus. something happens in like the cosmic ethos of the mind where it just goes and figures that thing out for you. So every time that I got on the drums and every time I kind of got to the blank page, so to speak, I was like, my intention right now is to create something that's never been done before. And just with that being my focus, it was kind of my North Star. So everywhere I'm going, if I'm in a music situation, in a collaborative situation, I'm like, is this pushing me in a direction that is getting me closer to that goal or further away from that goal? And over the years, I've quit many bands just because I knew it wasn't it. And it's only, like I say, in the last couple of years, and I'm turning 30 next year, that I've truly found something that I feel like has kind of hit the nail on the head there. So there's that. Other than that, you want to get the core foundation down. So I think it really starts with you. Other than just, setting the intention of, okay, I'm going to do something that's never been done before, you really have to get a little bit clearer on, who you are and what you want as an artist and what is truly important to you. One exercise I really like is the 5 whys, where you ask yourself, okay, what do I want? And you can come up with, okay, I want to play drums in a band, and then I'd ask myself, why? Why do I want to play drums in a band? It's like, well, I really want to create original music with other musicians. And then it's like, okay, why do I want to do that? Well, I really believe that, the kind of camaraderie and like the friendship that is made through creating music is just one of the most kind of valuable and memorable experiences that you can have in your life. I mean, when you're on your deathbed, you look back and the time that you spent with the people that you love is the time that you're going to cherish the most. And creating something that is beautiful and that you can share with the world, that inspires other people, is something that is really important. So I've only got the thing is, I've done this exercise before, so I kind of cut to the meat a little bit quicker. So it only really takes me a couple of whys to get to my true core why. But I would definitely recommend doing at least 5 whys for you to really get to the core of what you want. And if I was to summarize in one sentence what it is that I really want out of music, it is to write, record, and perform original songs with world-class musicians in inspiring places around the world in a way that brings people together in collaboration. So that's a bit of an airy-fairy kind of, resolution of my why there. And once I really knew what that was and I got clear on that, I was speaking with my mentor at the time. And as soon as I said that, he was like, okay, here's what you can do. You can reach out to artists that you want to play with, get them in the studio and say, hey, we're going to write and record a song from scratch in 3 hours and we're going to film the content. Now, there's a lot of value in just what I've said there, but I'll get to that in a second. But just wanted to share with you that from me knowing who I am and what I want, it was so much easier for me to get closer to moving in the right direction of finding that original idea that was the holy grail of my kind of artistry journey there. So there's that. Once you've figured out who you are and what you want, obviously the next step after that is you need to figure out who you need to form relationships with in order to make that happen. Nothing great was ever done by just one person. It was always done by one person or a group of people who had a vision and a dream. And then they went out there and they started making relationships and forming communities of people that would help manifest that into reality. So for me, I got down to the drawing board, and obviously I need other artists. I need other songwriters. I'm more predominantly just a drummer. I have started writing my own original music and lyrics recently. That's something I'll probably release later on down the line, not the main focus right now. But if I'm going to be doing this, I need, songwriters. So that's one person I need to connect with. I also as well need to be connecting with sound engineers and producers to kind of help bring the production together. The next thing, of course, is videographers as well. So those are kind of the core people I need in order to make relationships with, to make this happen. So once you've figured that out, the next step is, what can I create? What kind of value-based asset can I create that enables me to do what I want and also gives the people that I want to work with in order to make that happen what they want? That's kind of a long-winded way of saying it, but I'll kind of rephrase that a little bit. You just want to create something, some kind of project, some kind of asset, some kind of creative asset that is not just in line with what you want, but also delivers value to the people that you need to work with in order to make that happen. So for me, with my show, the Deadline Sessions, obviously, I really want to be in, rooms with music, artists, songwriters, producers, sound engineers, those kind of people. And, predominantly it's the songwriters, right, that are going to be the main kind of core pillar of that. And what do most songwriters and artists want these days? Well, unfortunately, in today's landscape, a lot of them want content for their social media so that they can get more followers and more fans. Nothing wrong with that. That's just kind of the way things are today. So that's why I created a show where it was filmed, and then at the end of the session, they get really valuable content for their social media to kind of build fans and build more followers that way. So they're getting what they want, and then I'm getting what I want, and it's a very mutually exclusive, valuable situation. Obviously, when it comes to the sound engineers, producers, and the videographers, they get what they want because I pay them. Hopefully, they also enjoy doing this as well. So that's also great. But other than that, once that is being put into the real world, then obviously I have the issue of, funding it as well. So it's got to be something that is not just valuable to the artists and the production team, but it's got to be something that is value to the audience. I personally think that, through my testing with the previous season that we did in Austin, Texas, it's something that has proven to be something that people are genuinely interested in and want to see a lot of. So the fans, they have been included in this project as well. It's something that they obviously want to see more of. And then later on down the line to, fund it even further, I think it's something that sponsors would obviously find valuable, because obviously if fans love it and artists love it, then that gives them a reason to tap into that network as well. That's pretty much it. I'm going to leave this video a little bit shorter than the last one, but yeah, those are the things to really get yourself to a position where you can bring that original idea into reality and create your unique signature along your artistry journey. You need to set the intention, figure out who you are and what you want, who you need to work with in order to make that happen, and then what kind of value-based asset can you create that essentially as a win-win for everyone else. So if you'd like to follow along the journey of what I'm doing with my project, the Deadline Sessions, the first episode goes live on July 7th. Check it out here on YouTube. I'll see you then.